Hi everyone, welcome to our second Lead Coffee Talk episode. My name is Rustam, and today we're going to be discussing giving feedback to your team. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Join me. Good to see you, Jethro. Pleasure as always. Please.
Thank you.
So, how are you doing today?
Yeah, going good. Very busy at my work, but things are going smooth and nothing to complain about. The sun's shining in the Netherlands, right? So it's hard to complain in that respect.
Yeah, can't complain when the sun is shining like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So we haven't talked for a while, and I was wondering if you still remember what we talked about in our previous episode.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of the most important aspects of a team dynamic, and that's communication and collaboration as the main point. And I think the two topics that we discussed under that was collaborative moments and the roles and responsibilities framework. Yeah.
Wow, you have some really good memory, Jethro.
Thanks, man.
Let me then ask you this. Did you have a chance to create those collaborative moments, let's say in the past week?
Does a day drinking on a boat trip with my team count?
Not going to judge. Maybe the audience will. But what about more in the professional side?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of the roles and responsibilities, I had a new joiner in my team this week, and that's always a good moment to reflect and have a look at that board. So what I'll do is, just host a meeting again, invite everyone who's part of the team plus the new member, ask the new member, is there anything they would like to add or remove, or maybe they have a different experience and they have a different expectation. So when your team forms again from the beginning, when a new joiner comes in, it's good to just stop and take a look at what you have and what you can do going forward. Yeah.
Awesome. I love to see that you're actually applying what you're talking about here in our coffee talks. So today I would like to talk about something different. It's going to be about the feedback, giving the feedback to the team that you have, and especially giving feedback to the new joiners. And I see there's some connection here.
Yeah.
So would you like to take a look at the questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Let's start.
Let's go.
Welcome, Jethro.
Yeah, hey.
So before we go to the questions, let's again remind ourselves and the audience about the situation. So we have Alpha Team, and last time we talked about Tyson Bram, our backend developers, and today we're going to be talking about Eileen and Dan, our front-end developers. Eileen has already been in the industry for a long time. She's been in the company for 2 years, so she has plenty of experience. However, Dan is not only new to the company, but he's also new to the industry. So you can sense there's some coaching needs to be done.
Yeah,
there.
indeed.
Cool. So the first question I had for you is, you notice that Eileen has been rejecting a lot of pull requests by Dan, and it's been going on for a while. Have you seen that situation? How would you address that?
Yeah, so I think what's kind of a typical situation here that's happening is that Eileen is, as you said, a senior engineer. She's been in the company for 2 years. She's probably moving at a really fast pace. She picks up her tasks every single day and gets them done. Her workflow is really nice, and she has a good idea about the kind of quality that's expected of front-end engineers in the company, right? And Don is new to the industry, and I think it was the same, for me at least. There was a moment when I joined a company for the first time from university. It's quite a big contrast between what you learn at university and the actual real world. So you can imagine that Don is probably feeling quite, negative in the situation. Overwhelmed is a good way to put it. And that's something that we need to look at as a team. So obviously this is quite an emotional level that we're speaking about here, right? So the thing that I would say in this situation is it sounds like a really good moment for me as a leader to delegate. And in this kind of situation, I would pull Eileen aside and first provide some feedback, right? And say, hey, listen, what's happening in the situation right now, rejecting pull requests is good. We do respect quality in this organization, but we also need to remember that Don is a junior engineer, and it's our responsibility, and especially a senior engineer, as we discussed in the roles and responsibilities meeting, that it's the senior engineer's job to kind of cultivate and help mentor the junior engineers. Yeah. So with that being said, I think this is a really good moment to set up a pair programming setup for Eileen and Don. So here, there isn't really much feedback I would give Don, simply because Don's new, and I don't think there's anything I can say to him that'll help motivate him further. He's new. It's a whole bunch of experiences for him. So I think the best idea here would be to set up that pair programming between Eileen and Don, and let them go for it. And Eileen can help steer Don in the right direction to get to the quality that she's looking for. Yes, this probably will slow down Eileen a little bit, and you need to have that conversation with Eileen and say, hey, listen, this probably will slow you down, and I will keep note of that. It's not like you will have to do this and your normal tasks. You will get some priority changes here because you need to make room for that. But the small investment in the beginning will yield much faster results for Don and Eileen, and a healthier, happier work environment later. Yes.
Awesome. So if I heard you correctly, let me summarize it for the audience. So we need to acknowledge in this situation that the problem is not Dan, right? We need to acknowledge that it's a person new to the team, that they still have ways to learn, and it's responsibility of us as a team as a whole to get them to the level they need to be. So schedule the feedback sessions with Aline, with the seniors, maybe see if it's possible to set up pair programming time together, and if not, maybe jump in yourselves and help the team get to where you want them to be.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Love it, Jethro. Next one. Miss deadline. You notice that the front-end team has been missing a lot of deadlines as a whole. You've probably been in the situations where one part of the team is working perfectly fine, smooth, and the other part of the team has been slacking.
Yeah.
What have you done then, Jethro?
Yeah, so I think in this kind of situation, there's multiple levels that could be the problem, right? So if we're looking mainly at the personnel aspect, it could be that they're not motivated in the team, or they're not feeling like the tasks are interesting enough for them to want to put more effort into. On the other side, the task could be too big for them, and maybe we're understaffed in that situation. So yeah, you just need to approach it from multiple different perspectives and understand exactly what the root cause is. I generally don't believe that people don't want to make deadlines. I think everyone tries their best effort to get to a deadline. So yeah, my feedback would be more around, are we having enough open communication? So I would pull in some people that were missing the deadlines, for instance, say it's Don, just for an example, and say, hey, listen, I see that we're missing deadlines. What is it that's causing that? What is taking us so long? What can I do as the leader to remove that from your plate? So if it's, for instance, the workload's too much, do we need to think about hiring someone? Do we need to have that communication? Do we need to move some resources from a different project onto this one? We need to kind of refocus there. I don't think missing deadlines is inherently a team problem. I think it's more of an organizational leadership problem than the actual team. I think the team always wants to deliver, but sometimes the parameters that they have to deliver in just don't match reality, right? Too little time, too much work. There's a lot of different parameters here. And I think in this kind of situation, it's just trying to have that clear and open communication with your team, right? So they need to come to me, and they should feel safe enough to come to me and say, hey, hold on, this is too much work for us, or we don't have enough time. And you really need to listen to that. You can't just say, oh, I think it's enough time, therefore it's enough time. You know, that's quite an old school way of looking at the situation. Your team will communicate with you, and if you're open to that communication, they'll provide feedback to you, right?
Yeah.
I think feedback is often taken as a one-directional communication, right? Oh, I'm the manager, or I'm the leader, I need to go and tell someone that they're doing something wrong. No, actually, feedback can be a two-way street, and often is. And if you're open to hearing about the different, if you're open to hearing from different members of the team, you often get a lot of different comments around what actually the problem is. It might not be directly saying you doing something wrong, but it might be someone on the team saying, hold on, we don't have enough time, or I've got too many distractions because of another project or my home life, or there's tons of different streams of information that can come to you, and you as a leader just need to be open to that feedback yourself, because you're also only human, and you also make mistakes, and you also put tight deadlines on your team. So you also need to just have a look at yourself and say, maybe I'm the problem here, maybe I can change some things.
Awesome. I love what you're saying. So it's not focusing on the problem itself, but zooming out a bit and seeing, okay, what's actually going on in the team. That's pretty awesome advice, I think.
Yeah.
Let me try to summarize this for the audience. So we talked about the whole team, the front-end team missing the deadline and how to approach that. And what Jethro just told us is it's not to focus on the problem and not give direct feedback to the team. I think everyone notices that they're missing the deadlines. It's about having that conversation together and maybe having a bi-directional feedback. What Jethro just talked about is not only giving the feedback, but also listening what might be going wrong and trying to be there to help the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think our job as a leader is to remove roadblocks from our team, right? And you can't remove roadblocks if you don't hear what those are. So keep yourself open to communication, and you'll hear what they are.
Awesome, Jethro. Nailed another one.
Yeah.
All right, then I have one more question for you. All right, so again, we're going to talk about Dan. He's a new joiner, and he's very enthusiastic, right? He still has things to learn, but he's very enthusiastic. And he comes and shows his desire to learn a new programming language. But you, as a team lead, and the team knows that this programming language is not really going to be used anytime soon within the team. And there is a lot of pressure from the stakeholders to deliver the work that's been promised. What would be the conversation you have with Dan?
Yeah, this is something that I've seen firsthand, and how powerful your initial communication with someone in this position can be. So it normally goes one of two ways. Either someone's under a lot of pressure, say the team lead's under a lot of pressure, and their immediate answer would be no. I don't want to do that because we have the time crunch. Obviously, everyone knows about the time crunch, and your immediate reaction could be, no, we can't do that. And actually, that's very dangerous, because what you're doing is you're not understanding the level that Don's coming at. He's new to the industry, but he's also got a ton of enthusiasm and willingness to try something new and learn something new. And that's something that should be fostered and improved within inside of the team. We're all a part of creating a good engineering culture, and actively seeking new knowledge and innovation is something that every team should strive for. So in this kind of situation, I would say to Don, I really respect your need and your want to grow, and that's amazing. We will help you on that journey as much as you need. So whether that's the study budget or whatever else you would like to look at, but more importantly for the team, what you would do in this situation, what I would do is I would say, hey, we have this deadline and we need to meet this deadline. That can't change. Unfortunately, if I could make the world a different place, we would be able to do everything, but we can't do that, right? There's time pressure from clients, there's time pressure from the industry, there's a ton of pressure on us right now. So what we need to do is satisfy our stakeholders first and say, hold on, Don. Let's first deliver what we've promised before we take on something new. That's not saying that we're not going to do what you want to do. Actually, the next available moment that the team has to do something fun or interesting or innovative, that's the moment that we'll schedule a day for you to do that. So that could be an innovation day, or that could be a hackathon, for instance. Maybe change one of the problem areas in the product to using the new technology. Maybe we can explore what's going to be better about going this way, and it can uncover a whole bunch of things. So I think this is a really good opportunity not to stifle any kind of enthusiasm that Don has, rather cultivate and foster that within inside of the team.
Yeah, awesome. So what I really like you doing here is, first of all, setting the boundaries, right? Giving the direct feedback that this needs to happen, right? Things need to be delivered. Maybe it's tying back to your roles and responsibilities meetings that you had previously, that we talked about in our previous episode. So tying these things together, you give a very clear feedback, and yeah, you still encourage a person to have that motivation and be inspired in the future. Yeah, exactly. So just to summarize it in one sentence, so the situation is that Dan is expressing a desire to learn a new language, but there is no really time for it at the moment. The stakeholders are putting a lot of pressure. So Jethro's advice here is to have this honest conversation and with Dan, and say that right now there are priorities, that things needs to be finished. However, we will do what is possible from us to have that moment where we can do something fun, learn new technologies, maybe create a new innovation day that can happen maybe regularly, maybe in a short time. Yeah, I think it's a good summary.
Yeah, I think what most people respect is transparency. Right? So what I would advocate in this situation is your feedback needs to be completely transparent. Yes, I appreciate what you want to do. These are the parameters that we have to operate in, and this is what we need to deliver. So just be transparent, and I think a lot of people respect transparency.
Well, Jethro, that was really good advice, very actionable, very straight to the point. Thank you very much. I also have some feedback for you. Your conversation was awesome, and you deserve some coffee.
Thank you very much.
Shall we?
Yes, let's go.
Let's go. Well, thank you very much, Jethro. Again, a lot of information on feedback, very good information. Thank you very much. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think feedback is a very important aspect of any team, and you need to make sure that you're delivering it in a way that's received well by your team members.
Awesome. Any feedback for us?
Yeah, where's my coffee?
All right, next time, I promise. And next time we prepare something really juicy for you. So we're going to be talking about the eternal conflicts within the team and how to resolve them. So you better be ready.
I'm ready to fight, man.
Awesome. Well, if you like this episode, like and subscribe. If you have any questions to Jethro or to us, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.
Yeah, bye.